Hey everyone, welcome back to Sarah's Vegan Kitchen. I hope you're doing well. Today we are taking just a little break from our Get Fit With Me series to do a fun and random video. I'm going to be doing a full day of eating like my high school self. And the concept for this video came to me the other day when I was just kind of contemplating how for so many of us, our relationship with food becomes so complicated and at times very difficult. And then I started reminiscing on how simple my relationship with food was when I was in high school. I just ate whatever I wanted. I rarely, if ever, looked at a nutrition label. Obviously, my metabolism was much higher. This was over a decade ago. Actually, my 10-year high school reunion is this November, oh my God. I just thought it would be fun for a day to kind of channel that kind of carefree, uncomplicated mindset with respect to food that I used to embody when I was in high school. Now, I'm not saying that it's healthier to eat the way that I'm about to eat. This is not a nutritional advice video so much as it is strictly for fun. I wanted to revisit some of my favorite meals from when I was in high school. I'm gonna veganize everything, obviously, because I wasn't vegan in high school, although I did try to go vegetarian a couple times. It was my love for bacon and cheeseburgers and really any kind of processed meat that prevented me from sticking to vegetarianism in high school, but I tried. So I went grocery shopping and planned out my day. I'm very excited. Some of these things I haven't had in a long time, but for breakfast, we got cereal. Honestly, I was not very consistent about eating breakfast, mostly because I was the most extreme night owl, and I would just, on school days, I would wake up at the very last minute possible and just throw all my clothes on and head out the door, and I rarely had time to eat breakfast, but on the rare occasion that I did, I would have something simple like a toaster strudel or a Pop-Tart or cereal. My favorite cereal was definitely Cookie Crisp, then probably like Reese's Puffs, Cocoa Pebbles, really good. Honestly, I didn't discriminate. I loved every breakfast cereal except for Raisin Bran because Raisin Bran. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch was also one of my favorites. Now, actual Cinnamon Toast Crunch is not vegan friendly. I think it's because they fortify it with some sort of vitamin that's derived from an animal product, but luckily Cascadian Farm Organic comes through for us and they make a vegan friendly Cinnamon Crunch cereal, which I don't want to say it's healthier, but it's a little bit less sugary than the original. We were a 2% milk kind of household, but today obviously I have plant milk. This is Ripple milk. And I still have cereal usually in my cupboard nowadays, but I treat it more as a dessert item and I follow the serving size. But I feel like when you're young and you're watching TV and they tell you that cereal is part of a balanced breakfast, you really don't question it. So like nowadays, my serving size would be probably like this much, just like a little sweet, little snack at the end of the day. But probably I'd fill the bowl up when I was in high school, right? Because it just makes sense. Wow. That smells good. Cinnamon Crunch cereal. And I am on the side of less milk to cereal ratio. I don't like to have leftover milk. I like to put basically enough to just saturate it. And then I like to give it a stir and like walk away from it for a minute or so that it gets just slightly soggy. Not full on soggy, but just not fully crunchy. If I eat all my cereal and there's still extra milk at the bottom of my bowl, that is just an invitation to add a little bit more cereal to balance it out again, right? That is good. Wow. This is the most cereal I've had in a sitting in like probably 6 years. Wow. I honestly don't know how I ate this much sugar in one sitting because it's very cloying. Okay, last bite, people. That's a lot of sugar. I'm so dehydrated. I'm so thirsty. That's another thing. I was terrible at staying hydrated. I don't think I was fully in touch with what it meant, what it felt like to be thirsty until like middle of college, when I realized like, oh wait, you're not hungry, you're actually just dehydrated. But before that, man, I just never drank water, and I always wondered why I constantly had headaches, and now it makes perfect sense. Okay, I'm quite full. I will check back in with you for lunch. We are back for lunch. Now, I was brainstorming and trying to decide what lunch would be the most representative of like 15 to 18-year-old Sarah, and this one came to mind. I may have already talked about this in a past video. I used to love corn dogs. My family, we were big Costco shoppers, and I feel like we always had like a big box of like Foster Farms or I don't know what brand, honestly, but we had a big box of frozen corn dogs at all times. Luckily now, Morningstar Farms has finally veganized their corn dogs. These were one of my favorite snacks to eat in college when I was just vegetarian. I believe they had some sort of egg product in them, I'm not sure, but now they're fully vegan. They actually have a vegan marker on the box, and I'm about to just be living my best life again. I think the cool thing about these is that Morningstar is in a lot of just regular supermarkets, so you don't have to go to Whole Foods or Sprouts or some sort of crunchy granola place to find these. Like, I literally just got these at King Soopers, which I believe is like the Kroger brand here in Colorado. When I found out these were vegan, I went out and immediately ate a full box within 2 days. But I was getting a lot of questions about whether I preferred these or the field roast mini corn dogs. And you know, I figured I would just take one for the team and buy both and taste test and compare them for you guys. So when I talk about having lunch in high school, sometimes my mom would pack me a lunch. Quite often she would like make me a tuna salad sandwich, or sometimes she would pack me hot dogs and like a bag of chips. We always had that like family size box of like little chip bags. But honestly, quite often I would just wait till I got home to eat, which is weird because it was like I was unintentionally intermittent fasting, but I really wasn't thinking about it. My body was used to it. I didn't really get hungry, but then when I got home, I would just pig the fuck out. So I was really lazy. I would literally just microwave my corn dogs, but I have an air fryer, so that's what I'm gonna use so that it gets nice and crispy. So I'm gonna do one of those and maybe 4 of these little guys. They're so cute. So while those are crisping up in the air fryer, I'm gonna make my little sauce that I always had to have to dip my corn dogs in. Equal parts mayo, ketchup, and then a lot of garlic powder, because I have been a garlic fiend since the day I was born, really. I swear, it was like clockwork. I would get home, make my corn dog, make my little sauce, and then I would lock myself in my room and binge watch Gilmore Girls. Because my first boyfriend, who I dated for like almost 4 years, a little over 3 years, he was obsessed with Gilmore Girls, and he had all of the box sets, and he lent them to me one time, and I just binge watched them. Later on, said boyfriend did leave me for a man, but it's all good. We had fun times bonding over Gilmore Girls. The smell of the corn dogs wafting from the air fryer combined with this takes me back. Wow. Corn dogs. And the very last piece of this meal, this is the random part. We always had a carton of goldfish crackers in our cupboard, and I would take the goldfish, crush them up a little bit. I would dip my corn dog in my special sauce, then I would dip it in the goldfish crumbs and eat it like that every bite. Now, the closest thing I could find to goldfish crackers that is vegan friendly are these Earth Balanced cheddar squares. So we're gonna have to make do with these. I'm sure this is too hot, but I'm very impatient. Sweet, sweet days of youth. Wow. These are amazing. What I want is for Morningstar to start selling whatever hot dog they're using on the inside of these corn dogs, because they're so flavorful and moist. And the Light Life hot dogs are just not that good, honestly, unless you put a ton of condiments on them. Do yourselves a favor, go buy these right now. Okay, let's try the field roast ones. I bought these last year, but I honestly don't remember what they taste like. Different flavor, a lot smokier. These taste like slightly more adult corn dogs. These taste like my childhood. These taste like a vegan company made corn dogs. Still really good though, I'm not complaining. Wow. It's funny how hard it was for me to finish the cereal, because I mean, I love sugar, but I'm not that much of a sugar fiend. But these, like, I could eat 4 times as many corn dogs. I just love salt so much. Wow, I'm so happy. No joke, literally the other day I was browsing online for a deep fryer that had good ratings. I was dead ass going to buy a deep fryer just so that I could make my own corn dogs for this video. But honestly, I feel like these are hard to beat. They're just so good and so easy. I don't think they're that expensive either. These are definitely, the Morningstar ones are cheaper than the Field Roast ones, because Field Roast is a bougie ass brand. I'm trying to think of what I might have been drinking while I was eating this. And my family, we weren't really big soda people. I mean, we had diet soda sometimes in our fridge, but it wasn't a constant. I did really like Arizona iced tea. I was a big fan of that stuff. I want to save the last bit of this so this can be my last bite. Does anyone else do that? Like, you save the very best part of the meal for your last bite? So I'm gonna move back to these. All right, last bite. Dip it in our sauce. Our cheese cracker. Best meal I've ever had. It was definitely very salty. I have to go chug another couple glasses of water. Probably gonna try and hit the gym now, because you know, I did not do any physical activity when I was in high school. Not really until even like 2 years ago did I start getting somewhat active. I was always that kid who, like, during PE, I would not do anything, and then if the coach turned around and looked at me, I would pretend to be like, I don't know, trying to catch the ball or participating in a sport. In California, at least, you have to pass this physical assessment in order to graduate. And I remember part of that is running the mile under a certain time. I don't remember what it is exactly, but my mile time was abysmal. It was so bad. And I remember I almost was not going to make the time, but my coach was telling me, like, you're not gonna make the cutoff. So I sprinted to the very end, nearly barfed. I just think it's hilarious that I did 0 physical activity, hated being outside, and yet I ate like utter garbage. It boggles the mind, it truly does. That high school metabolism though. So I am gonna go get a workout in today, just because I feel like getting some movement is going to help me digest better. And then I'm gonna check back in with you for dinner. I'm quite excited. I'm making one of my old favorite meals. Before you watch further, pause, leave a comment down below, and guess what you think I'm gonna make, because this is something that I've mentioned a couple of times before on my channel. It's just like, ooh, it's so good and yet so bad for you, but like nothing really beats it as comfort food, in my opinion. Leave a comment down below. Yes. Oh, also, I should have said this earlier. Leave a comment down below, what was your favorite breakfast cereal, or what is your favorite breakfast cereal? I am very curious. I'm going to attempt to recreate one of my former favorite childhood dinners. Hamburger Helper.
Never had it.
Really?
You didn't know that?
Oh.
I thought you knew that going into this.
I must have asked you that before. It's that important to me.
Definitely.
So this, luckily, is a very easy one-pot meal. I think it should only take like 30 minutes. And it's also been a long time since I had it, so I can't guarantee that this will be 100% accurate, but we're gonna do our best. So we've got the new Beyond Beef ground.
It's gonna fall off the
to
pack.
use in place of ground beef. We've tried this twice now, right?
Yeah, we made meatballs out of it and we made shepherd's pie. It is really good.
Yeah. Do you think it's the same thing that they use for their burgers?
No.
No?
Well, maybe the
it
new
definitely
burgers.
smells the same to me, but I don't know if the texture's the same.
It has the same Beyondish smell.
So there's lots of different flavors of Hamburger Helper. I think we got the stroganoff one and the cheeseburger one most often. But the first step is just to brown the beef and then like drain off all the extra fat. And this stuff is really fatty.
Mm-hmm.
My hands are covered in grease now.
It's just coconut oil, so you can like put it in your hair and stuff.
I just lubricate my entire body with Beyond.
Please. One time I put coconut in my hair. Not coconut oil in my hair.
Yeah.
And then I walked outside in the wintertime and my whole head froze. The answer to what does your shirt mean is I have no idea.
Where'd you get it?
Lauren gave it to me, my sister. I'm so excited we're eating this again.
Yeah?
I love the Beyond Beef. We gotta make tacos.
Well, now I just want to recreate everything.
At Del Taco?
That too.
Oh.
Everything that I used to make with ground beef because I used to love it so much. I feel like this is the right texture because you can't really do that with Gardein crumbles. It doesn't.
Right.
I think I've tried to make meatballs with Gardein crumbles and you have to use a lot of binder, like a lot of breadcrumbs, but when you made the meatballs with this, like this stuff sticks together on its own. It's weird because in this there's like fat marbling.
Mm-hmm.
I assume it's just chunks of coconut oil, but
Yeah.
it looks a little disturbing. So this was definitely not a part of the original Hamburger Helper, which was, I assume, devoid of vegetables. But I like to add fresh onion and garlic to pretty much every savory dish I make. So we're gonna add in now, so it gets a little brown with the beef. Now I'm worried this isn't enough beef. I'm crazy, right?
You're crazy.
Okay.
It's 1,000 calories of Beyond Beef.
Now I have brown rice fusilli, and I'm not entirely sure if it'll work the same way as wheat pasta in a one-pot dish, but I hope it will.
How do we break that up more?
The beef.
Yeah, that's the one problem I've had with it.
Good question. It is very chunky.
Maybe like, you know what we should use?
What? The potato masher? Doesn't it
We
look
do.
like whatever, like, they have like coloring in here to make it look bloody?
Yeah.
Like it's like seeping into the onions. That's so weird.
I can't. It's too hot.
Why would it be less hot for me?
You're immune. You know you're immune.
I think that as it cooks, it'll crumble a little better, don't you think? All right, I actually don't think there's gonna be enough like extra grease to drain off, do you?
No.
Should we just leave it in?
Yeah, we did that.
Okay, great. Have you ever made a one-pot dish? I actually haven't.
I don't think I have.
While we're still browning it a little bit, I'm gonna add some ketchup.
Oh, hell yeah.
I would have added tomato paste, but I actually am out of it. So we're using a little bit of ketchup, maybe like a tablespoon and a half. Some Dijon mustard. Tablespoon maybe. Worcestershire sauce.
How do you say it?
Worcestershire sauce.
It's not Worcestershire, people. It is not Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
And it's also not Worcestershire sauce.
We got onion and garlic powder, just to make it ultra savory. We have some paprika and some dried parsley.
I want to eat
Oh my god,
just this.
it looks like Hamburger Helper.
It's just so many shades of brown. So what is Hamburger Helper? What are we making?
It's just like, you get it in a box, it comes with pasta and a flavor packet, and all you do is add your beef, water and milk, I think.
And there are a bunch of different flavors.
Yeah.
What flavor are we making?
There's also tuna helper, is what I learned
Ew.
today.
Sounds good, actually.
Yeah, I don't really know what flavor I'm making. It's somewhere in between the cheeseburger one, because I also
cheeseburger,
have,
right.
I got the Violife cheddar shreds. First time trying these, but I really liked the mozzarella shreds, and I thought that they were the most realistic shredded cheese I've tried so far.
You putting that in?
Not
Right
now.
Okay.
So we're gonna put this in at the end and melt it in, so it becomes like a cheesy sauce. Mmm. It's that the texture is correct, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you smell it, and it smells like cheese.
That actually tastes like bagged shredded cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't yet gotten the fresh cheese thing, you know?
No.
That definitely tastes like bagged cheddar cheese, though.
Right.
I'm gonna try a piece of this.
Does it need salt? I actually am not sure how salty the Beyond Beef is. Salty or no? So our beef is browned, our onions and garlic are a little bit brown and they've shrunk a lot. And now we're going to add, this is beef broth. I use these beefy vegan bouillon cubes. I hope this is enough liquid. And then we're also adding in some milk to make it creamy. This is unsweetened oat milk. This is Oatly, the good stuff.
Oatly? I didn't see that coming.
You know what, I actually considered just using all beef broth.
Yeah.
And adding in some of that sour cream that we have, the Follow Your Heart sour cream, because we haven't really been using it, and I feel like this would be a good way to use it up. Look at the Beyond Beef grease just floating on top of the liquid.
Oh yeah, that's why it's orange.
This looks so familiar to me. Wow, that makes me happy. Then we just toss in our pasta and cover it and walk away, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's all. I really hope this works. And in the meantime, I'm going to make a little bit of sauteed spinach, just because I haven't eaten any vegetables today. Do you think this is enough pasta for us? Should we just toss in the rest of that box?
I mean, I like pasta.
There's only like an additional half a cup in here anyway. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it while it simmers and see if I need to add in a little bit more liquid, but
Turn down a little bit.
yeah, we're gonna just drop the heat down and let it simmer. Wow, I'm so excited. But like I was saying, I'm gonna make some sauteed spinach now because I was thinking back on what kind of vegetables I had growing up, and really it was very limited to vegetables from a can and like broccoli sometimes, and sometimes asparagus on like special occasions. And I also liked just plain sauteed spinach or spinach with a little bit of garlic. And I still actually really love that.
That's like my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's cover it. I'll check in with you in like 20 to 30 minutes. We'll see. Taste test. This worked out so well. I feel like we need to adopt the one pot method. Like the starch from the pasta like really thickened everything up. Also, this pasta held together so well.
Really
it's
did.
like, it's beautiful. I'm into it.
It's so good.
It's super creamy.
It's creamy and mustardy. And cheesy. I'm gonna eat way too much of this.
From what I remember, this doesn't taste exactly like Hamburger Helper. I feel like this tastes like a slightly classier version because of the Dijon mustard.
Yep.
Also, I probably would have had to add like 2 cups of shredded cheese. Oh, I added cheese during the last like 5 minutes and stirred it through. I only added like a cup. If you really wanted to make it like Hamburger Helper, cheeseburger mac, we'd have to add a lot of cheese.
It's so good.
This ground. The texture's just right on this.
Yeah.
On the Beyond Meat.
I agree.
Flavor's not all the way there, but it's still good.
Yeah. I love it.
Yay. Great, we're gonna eat dinner. I'm gonna check back in one more time to make a very simple dessert. Oh boy. Beautiful. Going for the beef chunks.
I'm gonna put Marie Sharps on this.
Oh yeah, this
gonna
makes
be
hot
so
sauce
good.
for sure. Yeah, thank you. See you soon.
Bye!
I need to send a picture of this to my mom.
Okay. Oh, the spinach is so good.
Let's just say that this cost me $10 a pound. You're off by 5 grams, and each gram is about, I don't know, 10 cents. If you're messing up on 100 patties, you're costing me $10 a day. Yeah. That's $3,650. So no way.
Hi guys, I'm checking in one final time to make dessert. This is
The story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world.
that. And also this is a chocolatey, delicious beverage. It's called a New York egg cream. Does not contain eggs. I don't know why it's called that. Maybe at some point in its history the drink did contain eggs.
You should ask my grandparents.
Yeah, would they know? Are they the authority on New York egg cream?
I mean, they're 90-year-old Jews who grew up in Brooklyn, so probably.
New York egg cream. Okay, very simple. You need some milk. I think typically you would use whole milk, but we've got Oatly because it's the best. We got some, I think you can use club soda or seltzer water.
I think they're the same thing.
Are they the same thing?
Leave a comment down below if I'm wrong.
I'm sure they are the same thing. I don't know. I don't usually drink either of them. I just don't understand people who drink like fizzy water, like plain water. It's gross to me.
It's spicy water. It's good.
It's classy water. I'm not classy enough. You also need chocolate syrup. Now, regular Hershey syrup is accidentally vegan, but I thought we'd go with this Simply 5 syrup, which doesn't contain high fructose corn syrup. So it's just simpler ingredients. Technically, you're supposed to make this with this one very particular kind of chocolate syrup, like the You Bet chocolate syrup, but number one, I can't find that, and also, I don't know if it's vegan. So we're just going to make do with this. It's going to be amazing.
Will you hit me with a little squirt of that in my yogurt?
He's eating that lava yogurt that I taste tested a few videos back, which I don't really like, and it seems a lot of you guys don't like either, but...
Like the tiniest little squirt.
You like it?
Yeah, it's a little garlicky.
That's user
That's
error.
my fault.
He chopped fruit on our cutting board that I chopped garlic on every single day, multiple times a day.
I do this often. It's a tiny little hit. Perfect.
Really?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I'm not really sure what the proper ratios are, but the idea is it gets super fizzy. I think this is, it's mostly supposed to be the fizzy water.
Wait, before you, hold on.
What? We have a soda stream because he likes spicy water. Is it fizzy enough?
Let me give it another little.
He's gonna recarbonate it. We're gonna do like 2 tablespoons. No, like a tablespoon and a half. Right now we are engaging in one of my former high school pastimes, which is playing video games, because I recently bought the remaster of Final Fantasy X and X-2 for the PS4. And that's one of my favorite games of all time, besides Kingdom Hearts and like the Legend of Zelda series, and I'm making Eric play it because he hasn't played it before.
We started Ocarina of Time, and I couldn't get
You're
halfway
just
through
like-
it. I really didn't like it, sorry.
He hated it.
But Final Fantasy's awesome.
I think he mostly hated it because we played it, we borrowed a friend's Nintendo 64, and it's just kind of ugly.
It wouldn't work right.
And the
do what I wanted
controls
to
are
do.
the controls are finicky, right? So like I grew up with it, and I have all of that nostalgia attached to it, so I love it. I feel like a lot of people relate. But it's like I was telling him the other day, it's the same for me with Final Fantasy VII. I never played that growing up, and it's a legendary game. And now when I try to play it, I just can't get into it because it's so antiquated. But they are remaking Final Fantasy VII, I think. Anyway, I just keep talking. Let's.
Is it gonna like
I think it's supposed
combust?
I think it's gonna catch on fire. It's supposed to get really.
There it goes. There it goes.
It's supposed to get a nice creamy head. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying?
Hot.
I'm just gonna keep going. All right, we'll call that good. It's like a chocolate Italian soda, right?
Hey. Italian soda.
Italian soda. All right, we love this.
Let's put my head right here.
It's perfect. It's so good. I thought it would be really funny if you just drank all
I was
of it.
thinking about it.
I mean, we have infinite supplies here. That's it for this video. I'm probably going to make a series out of this. Maybe you should do an installment too of eating like your high school self, because, I mean, we both didn't really eat healthy growing up, right?
I don't even know. What the hell did I eat in high school? Lots of Taco Bell.
Yeah.
How much do you think I can get down with one breath?
I don't know.
Okay, it's fine. Ready? I gotta hold. Can you hold my nose for me?
What?
Ready?
I think you're gonna start laughing and spit it everywhere.
Let me get it.
Take a deep breath.
Okay, hold on.
Don't spit it out my
You can't swallow. Look, try it. Try it.
You can't swallow with your nose
No.
plugged? Yeah, you can't. Alright, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna make this a series because there are so many other things that I used to love and still love vegan versions of And I want to share all that with you. I need to find a way how to veganize Vienna sausages because that's something that's really left a void in my life.
Vienna sausage.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Leave comments down below. Are there any things that you used to love during high school? Or like weird things or food combinations that you used to love that you, looking back, don't understand how you enjoyed? I would love to know. Thank you. Bye.
Whoa, excuse me.
Ew. Disgusting.
I only did that because the camera was still rolling and I wanted your reaction.